As you might recall, I reported to you just recently that Warner Brothers was preparing Fantastic Beasts 3 and Aquaman 2 so that they could reduce the roles of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard if necessary, particularly for big blockbuster films where there's a lot riding on it financially. These scripts are in flux, sometimes even while filming, and Fantastic Beasts 3, in fact, has started production. Because, they have to be protected and they're as much business as they are artistic properties. And the idea of reducing the role of either actor, because there are many of you in both camps, well, it made many of you very upset. Many of you thought it was ridiculous. Well, surprise! It just got crazier. Because you've heard the old saying, it can always get worse. Or how about this one? Don't pick at it. And I fear that Johnny Depp himself will also become another cautionary tale. Because 1 week after Depp lost his court case in the UK, he revealed today on Instagram that Warner Brothers is not reducing his role, but has flat out asked him to resign from Fantastic Beasts 3. He's already in London, as he noted on the letter. Classy guy, I gotta say. Which is, considering the allegations against him. And I don't even think you can call them allegations anymore after this verdict. I do feel bad for Depp. But we're going to go through this, and you're going to see this is a very difficult situation for everybody involved. And Depp has said he has respected that request, and he has resigned from the movie. Warner Brothers released their own statement saying that the role will be recast, although they did not specify who. As I've also told you, Warner Brothers was watching this case very carefully, but I heard from my sources, that's why this video is a little delayed getting up, I wanted to check with my sources. I heard that they were surprised at how hard the court came down on Depp. Depp was too, as he noted in his letter to fans. And the severity of the judge's statement is why they asked him to resign rather than simply reducing his role as they had planned as a contingency. Also in their statement, Warner Brothers announced that Fantastic Beasts 3 has been moved, like every other movie on the face of the earth, this time, this film in particular, to summer 2022, leaving its November 2021 date in play as movies continued to be shuffled during the pandemic. Now, Warner Brothers can hold on to that date for one of their own films, but that doesn't mean another movie studio can't move on it in the interim before Warner Brothers places another film there. However, it's smack in between Eternals and Mission Impossible 7, like literally in between. There's like no breathing room. So I don't know who would want that date anyway. I even questioned whether or not it was a valid date for Fantastic Beasts 3. Bookended between those two movies. And they're opening, unless, theaters aren't open by that point. That's fall 2021, though. Eternals is already in the can, and Mission Impossible 7 is, of course, I think it's still filming. It might even be done, but those movies are far ahead of this film, only going into production now. Naturally, many Depp supporters, upon hearing this news, insisted that if he was asked to resign, so should Amber Heard from Aquaman 2. And heck, what about Ezra Miller, who's also in Fantastic Beasts 3? We're going to talk about Fantastic Beasts 3 in just a moment. And I want to tell you that I've heard from my sources at Warner Brothers, while they are ignoring the Miller drama, which is nothing compared to this Depp Heard situation, they are considering replacing Heard as Mira. They are considering it. But they're still leaning towards simply reducing her role, the contingency plan, again, they had already put in place. So here's the thing. Depp has made it, why would they even be considered? Some of you might be like, how dare they ask her to resign? And we'll talk about that in a moment. Well, the problem is that Depp has made it clear that he's not going to drop this. In fact, Warner Brothers just freed up his schedule to pursue it full time. There was recently a discussion about the setting the court dates for his Virginia case against the Washington Post and Amber Heard because of his filming schedule. And then she said, well, I have to film Aquaman too. And I guess Warner Brothers was like, how about you're both free to just pursue this in court and, ride this bomb Dr. Strangelove style down to the ground instead of, making that bomb one of our movies. But the court case has created a wrinkle in terms of just jettisoning both of them. But it's not great to have a shadow of this Depp Heard debate hanging over Fantastic Beasts 3 or Aquaman 2. So that's why I think that some of you might be like, just let Amber Heard, those of you who are fans of Amber Heard and are supporting her in this situation might be like, nothing should happen to Amber Heard. Well, just her presence creates a big problem for the movie PR-wise. But here's another PR problem. Warner Brothers is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Because here's the situation. What differentiates Depp from Amber Heard and Ezra Miller is that he's the only one of them who now has the allegations against him verified by a court of law. I told you it was a huge disaster to take this thing to court. He was rounding the corner in the court of public opinion. Likewise, a court of law has not only said that Depp is a wife beater, but they have backed up Amber Heard's defense and said that she is a victim and not a gold digger. So Warner Brothers, if they were to ask her to resign, they'd be asking a legally verified victim of abuse to resign and subjecting her to the same punishment as her abuser. No matter what you believe, on paper, that is a public relations nightmare. I don't believe they can fire Amber Heard without that also blowing up in their face. So again, I believe their only course when it comes to Amber Heard is Mira, who's also, by the way, appearing in the Snyder Cut, including additional scenes, which are being shot now, although we'll see if those make it to the final cut with this in mind. But I think they can just reduce her role in Aquaman too. Like, oh, Amber Heard, like Rose Tico in Rise of Skywalker. Hey, you want to come on this mission? I can't. I got to wash my hair. Amber Heard has to do the same thing. So, and just phase in a new female lead, which again, I told you is what they've already prepared to do. But I bet you they reduce Amber Heard's role to like almost nothing. Like almost nothing. Like she just is like, I'm still in the movie, but just barely, and then goes away. Because I think that PR-wise, I mean, so many people believe and stand by Depp, particularly DC fans. I don't think it's viable. You can't fire her, but I don't think it's viable to keep her in the movie in a major way either. Now back to Fantastic Beasts 3. What a mess this is. My God, for all these movies. All right, the obvious fix, and I still think Ezra Miller, even though Warner Brothers doesn't agree with it, although I've heard some rumblings about what they're planning. I'm working on verifying it, but I'll share it with you soon. But that's also up in the air, by the way. They're still deciding what to do there. They've got the Ray Fisher drama. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Although Depp's the only one so far who's gone to court. Oh, that was a big mistake. All right, so anyway, back to Fantastic Beasts 3. The obvious fix is to bring back Colin Farrell, as many of you have already said. And I do love me some Colin Farrell. Although the movie, of course, is shooting now. And you know what else is shooting now? The Batman, which stars Colin Farrell. But it is for the same studio, and that means he's also in London. So that could be a plus in on his part. And so it really just depends on his schedule. They'll be like, awesome, Colin Farrell, you can stay in the same hotel. We just need you to go to a different part of town and go film for Fantastic Beasts 3. But I gotta tell you, also, isn't this movie supposed to take place in Brazil? Why are they filming in the UK? It's like a lot of fake palm trees around here. I don't know. I think the coronavirus situation is pretty bad in Brazil, so maybe that's one of the reasons. But anyway, considering the mess, let's take a look at the mess that Fantastic Beasts 3 has become. They've had to fire Johnny Depp, which I think a number of people will not get over. Ezra Miller, still a huge problem. J.K. Rowling, what's she gonna say next? Nobody knows, but I think we probably know it's not gonna be good. And also, speaking of not good, these movies aren't particularly good. I mean, I don't think anybody's like, oh, how's it end? I mean, I don't even quite frankly know how it's going. These movies are so convoluted. But I think that one thing they could do is at least fix the queer baiting part of this franchise. J.K. Rowling was like, oh, I'm going to give representation. Psych, not really. And I think they could cast an openly LGBT actor as the new Grindelwald. That would get some positive publicity. It would help J.K. Rowling as well. And it would maybe get some people rooting for this franchise, you know, the Fantastic Beasts franchise again. Although I don't know what openly LGBT actor would want to be associated with J.K. Rowling right now. Maybe perhaps the chance to play Grindelwald and boy, you better really have that Dumbledore Grindelwald situation come more front and center. So stupid to do a Dumbledore. I put that's their celebrity couple name, Dumbledore. But to tell the great story of Dumbledore and Grindelwald as the B storyline in some stupid movie about like magical animals. It's like, what? If you didn't want to tell the story about this illicit, gay, sexy romance, you shouldn't have made the movies then. Although it should have been a series, come to think of it. That should have been an HBO Max. That's what I would do. I just thought of this now. I'd jettison Fantastic Beasts 3. I'd be like, I'm not spending money on this. Nobody even wants to see it. And I would continue the Grindelwald Dumbledore saga on HBO Max where I could do it properly. And, you know, make it a little edgier, a little racier. And I think people would eat that up with a spoon. All right. So, yeah, I would just drop it. Do you want to see how Fantastic Beasts ends? I'm curious. I think only diehard Potter fans. And you know what, JK? Go write a book. Write Fantastic Beasts 3 as a book or publish the screenplay. I'm done with this. I think they should start a new Wizarding World chapter. And again, as I've been saying, reconnecting with Harry, Hermione, and Ron as adults and bring back the original cast who have now aged into those adult roles. Finally, as for Depp himself, I just can't believe I fixed that Fantastic Beasts situation. And it would help HBO Max. That's what they should do. All right, so anyway, as for Depp himself, never has an actor of Depp's caliber been fired during production on a major franchise where the actor was already established in the role in prior, not just successful, but super successful films. It is a huge embarrassment, and I felt very bad for Depp in his letter when he said, "I will not have my life and career defined by this moment." Well, then stop picking at it. Again, you're the one who keeps making it all about this moment. Give some people something else to talk about, Johnny. Give them something else to talk about. I mean, it's just a disaster, and it sets a precedent for Depp to now be officially fired from the Pirates franchise, something Disney has already been considering themselves. Warner Brothers has already given them an excuse. Also, these are family films, and the allegations now that are verified by a court of law are very serious. I know that some of you say you don't believe them, but we weren't there. We weren't there when these incidents originally happened, and we weren't in the court when the evidence was. We weren't actually there when the evidence was presented. Now, I'm not saying there are never wrong verdicts in court. There are, but this is becoming. It's really leveled up to an incredibly serious situation. You have to take out how you personally maybe feel about the individuals, and you just have to think about what you're saying about abuse and victims, and we have courts of law for a reason. All right, I hope this Virginia case goes in his favor. I mean, he has no choice but now for that to happen. Luckily, the Pirates franchise is a ways off, so hopefully Depp can clear his name by then, or at least make it a draw. And he has to do that again because he's put this to the level of legal verification. I said on Monday he never should have taken this to court. I think especially if he wanted to continue his career as an actor. Hopefully he can get clean. Maybe he's already clean. I hope so. But hopefully he can. I thought his letter was really beautifully done. And he didn't, he's not hauling Warner Brothers to court. It's very sad. All right, so anyway, I hope that he can get clean, get a court to side with him, some court, and build his career back using smaller films. But for the foreseeable future, I don't see a single major studio backing him because it's just too complicated from their perspective. You just can't. It's very bad that he's been labeled that by the court. It's very bad. I just hope Depp doesn't end up going too far down the rabbit hole if he hasn't already. And as I said, I understand Warner Brothers' position, Fantastic Beasts. It's really lose-lose for them. I just want you to think, if you were a major business, would you really want to have an actor who has been found guilty of this? I think it would put you in a really difficult position, especially because these court cases are going to continue. I feel very bad about it. What would you do? What would you do? All right, share your thoughts down below. Subscribe today. And of course, as always, you can check out some more videos right now.